I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go.
Hey guys, how are we today? First, I have to say that I didn't have to go back out and come back in when I pressed live today, and my music worked. So we're starting out great. We're starting out really, really good so far. So I want to say hi to everybody. Hey Vanessa, it's good to see you. And Cutie Pie. Hey Trista. Oh no. That's not good. Hopefully it clears up on you. I think that where the pollen's really bad, it messes up people's sinuses and their eyesight too, probably. Hey, Jen. It's always good to see you. Guys, I send Jen my emergency invite. I'm always like, here's the emergency invite just in case. Shalima, it's always good to see you. Mallory, hey. I hope you're feeling better today. Bless your heart. That stomach virus has been going around with quite a few of my friends, actually. I think Erin wasn't feeling good either. Hey, Music City Mom. Hey, Sifa. I'm always glad to see you, too. Heather. If it isn't Heather the Brat. Heather Brat. Well, I'm glad we can, you got something to listen to today. Oh, that's good. I'm really, really glad about that. Guys, there is something bad that's going on right now, so I want to get into that ASAP. Let me show you guys. There is an Amber Alert out of Washington, and it's actually carried over into Oregon too. Both states have the Amber Alert right now. And it is, sometimes it's a non-custodial parent that will take the babies without permission, and it's always worrisome because you don't know what's going to happen. But this one is really, really bad, you guys. It's Elias Huizar. I've heard like 3 different ways to pronounce his name: Huizar, But I want to say thanks to Cutie Pie for bringing this to my attention this morning. He's 39 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 170 pounds. Last seen wearing a black cap, black long sleeve shirt, light blue jeans, and black shoes. And let me show you the baby, you guys. 1-year-old Roman Huizar. He's 2 feet tall, 25 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. And I'm going to put both of their pictures up here, you guys. They were okay. Starting out yesterday at 3:30 p.m., there was a call of a shooting to an elementary school, Wiley Elementary School, and a woman was found deceased. And you learn later that it was Elias's ex-wife. She was a paraeducator at that school. So they go by. After this, they execute a search warrant at his house at 8 p.m. And when they go inside his house, you guys, they find his girlfriend also deceased and the baby missing. Yes, Mal, it's very, very terrifying. I'm really, really worried about this. So after they find that his girlfriend is also deceased, at 9:44, the Washington State Patrol issues an Amber Alert for Roman. And they do think that this morning at 9 a.m., the West Richland police, they stated on their Facebook that he was possibly seen in Portland, Oregon overnight. And they did have a Camry as the car, but now they think that he might be in a black 4-door sedan. We'll look at that a little bit more, you guys. But he was supposed to be, it started out yesterday morning, he was supposed to be in court. He missed his court date. He was charged with second degree, R, and supplying alcohol to minors, and he pled not guilty for the second degree R. And you guys, I'm still looking into all of it through the paperwork and all of that. But yes, Jen, it's really, really, really bad, you guys. And so he missed his court date yesterday. So I think that he knew what was going to be waiting on him, and he decided to do all of this. And it started out, and get this, you guys, he was a police officer from 2014 to 2022 in Yakima. And he was placed on leave. I'm still trying to find out the exact. I'm doing all this, you guys. I learned about it maybe 2 hours ago, and I'm still trying to look everything up. You guys know that I like to have my facts straight, but I wanted to get all this out to you guys as soon as possible. It started, so he was a police officer from 2014 to 2022, and he was placed on leave. And it was to do with a 13-year-old girl, and I think that this girl is also his girlfriend, you guys. Why he was placed on leave also had to do with the girlfriend who is his baby's, who is also Roman's mom, right? So he was on leave, and while he was on leave 2022, he put in an application to be a substitute teacher, you guys. So somehow he ended up getting that job as a substitute teacher, right? And on 2/7 of this year, they sent him a letter from the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission, and they said that his officer certification was under review. And 2/9 and 2/24 of this year, his ex-wife filed a civil protection order against him, and an unnamed minor received a SA protection order against him. So 2/15, he was charged with those charges that I told you guys, and he was released on $200,000 bail. Now, I have no idea where a substitute teacher and an ex-police officer got this much money, but the trial date was set for 4/22 yesterday, and he missed that. He allegedly killed 2 people and took the baby, you guys. Yeah. Hey Trista, it's good to see you. Let me show this, you guys. That has the license plate number of the 2009 Toyota Camry, but like I said, they don't think that he's driving that anymore. Let's play the 2 videos that let's look at this first. I just wanted to get that out to you guys really quick, and then now we'll look at this. Police hunt former cop after 2 women are found dead and a child is abducted. Police are urgently searching for a man after 2 women were shot dead and a 1-year-old boy was abducted in Washington state. Yes, guys, they also think that he could be on his way to the Mexico border. So you guys know that Sebastian Rogers' dad, he says, keep your head up and your eyes open. So that's what we're going to do. And they said that he's armed and dangerous and is likely to commit more crimes. We know that because he's already done 2 unalivings, so he's not scared to do more. I'm very sure about that. Let's see here. Yeah, that basically tells all that I told you guys already. Let's see. So this says they don't know the relationship between him and his missing child, but that's his child, you guys. It says right here, court documents seen by KNDU said that Huizar is alleged to have sexually assaulted a teenager while she was sleeping in his home in February of this year. That this was witnessed and reported by another teenager. So what I have read in further documents say that his girlfriend, his baby's mother, she's still underage. Technically, I think she's maybe 17, and she had a friend over, and they both got really bad under the influence of alcohol. And when she woke up, she allegedly saw him SAing her friend, and the 2 took his truck and the baby and fled. So this is what all of this stems from, you guys. It says no contact orders were issued for the alleged victims in this case, who were described as teenagers, meaning Huizar can't go within 1,000 feet of their schools, homes, or workplaces, or have any contact with minors under 16. Yeah, and this right here, it says that would have banned him between him and his own child. So he really wasn't even supposed to be around his own child, you guys. Charlie Ann, hey. Oh, thank you so much. It's good to see you. Hey, Neat Noodle. It's good to see you guys too. Yeah, I think that you'll like it here at Charlie Ann. I got a really great bunch of subscribers here. Well, they're my friends. I think I know all of you guys personally, actually. Yeah. Okay, let me see what else that I can find, you guys. So isn't that crazy, you guys? So he was an ex-police officer, and then he was a substitute teacher. I think he was still a substitute teacher at this time, probably not after he got those charges. And okay, if his girlfriend, his baby's mother, so I read another spot where they said that they were looking into it to see if she was underage when the baby was conceived. But, obviously she was. So they're thinking about, I don't know what they can do about that either now since she's passed away. Oh, this is awful, you guys. Absolutely awful. Music City Mom. Reminds me of Noah Clare case. His dad kidnapped him and his 16-year-old cousin. They said he was in Michigan and he was in California, all the way from near me, close to Sebastian. Noah was found safe. I do remember that. Guys, is MI Michigan or Minnesota? Don't kill me, Mallory, because I don't know the abbreviations. I do remember that, and I think I shared about that way back then, even before I had a channel and everything. Yeah, he was found safe. I was so glad about that. Yes. Okay, and there was possibly a sighting this morning. So let's watch this. Okay, let me find it, you guys. Come back and get you guys. Michigan. Thank you. Thank you, Neat Noodle. Thank you, Heather. Thanks, guys. Oh, now I know. Now ask me tomorrow and I might not remember, but hopefully. Let's see here.
Top story this hour, breaking news. It's the Amber Alert that a lot of us saw on our phones either late last night or when we woke up this morning. It was issued out of Eastern Washington.
Yeah, police are searching for a 1-year-old who they say was kidnapped by a double murder suspect out of Richland. If you're unfamiliar with that area, Richland is about 3.5 hours east of Portland in the Tri-Cities area. Our Devin Haskins is live on Hayden Island this morning. And Devin, you're there following up on a tip that police got overnight.
Yeah, that's right. So I talked with police from West Richland, and they tell me.
So did they say that this is possibly 3.5 hours from where he was originally? Like I said, you guys know that I usually have my facts down really, really good, but I only learned about this about 2 hours ago, so I'm trying my very, very best.
Tell me that Portland police told them that there was a possible sighting here on Hayden Island. And we heard reports that maybe it was here at this plaid pantry, so we came here and talked with the clerk. The clerk tells me that about 12:30 this morning, he says he believed he saw that man come to his store and buy a drink. He says he looked out and thought he saw a child in the back seat of that car, called police. Police came out to investigate and take a report. Now, I want to show you that man's photo and get right to kind of what we know so far with this Amber Alert. Police are looking for Elias Huizar. He's a former Yakima police officer in Eastern Washington, described as 5 feet 6 inches tall with a medium build, brown hair, wearing a black hat, black long sleeve shirt with light blue jeans and black shoes. Police say he took off with 1-year-old Roman Huizar of Richland and could be on his way to Mexico. He's accused of killing both his ex-wife and his girlfriend. One of the women was shot and killed outside of an elementary school in the Tri-Cities yesterday afternoon as kids were being let out for the day. Then, when the police were serving a search warrant on his home, they say they found the other woman dead. Huizar was due in court yesterday for the rape of a teenage girl, but did not show up. Initial reports say the car to look out for is a silver 2009 Toyota Corolla.
Yep, so there was that Toyota Corolla that he originally left in, and now it's a black Nissan sedan. I didn't know it was a Nissan. Wonder where he got this car, you guys. And if it was stolen, they for sure would have the license plate number. I'm not sure about that. I'll update that when I figure it out, you guys.
With Washington license plate CBZ 4745. Now with that update here on Hayden Island, police say they're adding a black 4-door Nissan sedan with unknown license plates to also look out for. If you see either car matching those descriptions, they're asking you to call 911. Police are saying Huizar is considered armed and dangerous and to not approach him. To call 911 if you do see him. We're expecting updates from West Richland police as well on this case, and we've also emailed Portland police. So when we get updates, we'll update you and bring those to our website.
Debbie, hey, it's okay. I know you get here whenever you can. It's okay. Tony, hi. It's good to see you. I was talking to Debbie the other day, you guys, and I'm from the holler, and she's from the UK, and I thought that she was describing to me about the trains, and we don't even have Uber here, you guys. I was asking her all about it. Okay, you guys, I want to show you, let's see, I think that that's all I have right now about that. I'll show you their pictures one more time and give you their descriptions. Elias is 39 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 170 pounds, and he was last seen wearing a black hat, black long sleeve shirt, light blue jeans, and black shoes. And then little Roman is 1 year old. He's 2 feet tall, 25 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. And they do believe that Elias is armed and dangerous and is likely to commit more crimes. So don't approach him, you guys. Dial 911 immediately if you see him. Oh, yeah, Jen, no, we don't have those in the holler. We used to have one taxi, you guys, and my dad said that he would call him to take him to the bar, and if his wife answered the phone and said that he was napping, you'd have to call back when he wasn't napping. Seriously. We used to have one cab driver, you guys. How crazy is that? Okay, you guys, now that's all I have for that. But also, you guys, I do have their you don't know what the holler is, Jen? It's like in between two mountains, and I think that they call it a hollow, really. But around here in our country accent, they say holler. Yeah. Yeah, Debbie just dropped my email. You guys look at her, multitasking. I appreciate you guys so much. All of you guys that help me mod. I don't like to say my mods because you guys aren't my property. You guys are my friends. So you guys that help me mod, I appreciate it so much. But Debbie just dropped my email. And if you guys would like to join my Discord, it's no problem. I can get you in there really, really easily. And it's really, really good in there, guys. Really good vibes all the time. And I heard that a lot of Discords have a lot of problems, but it's not like that at all, you guys. Yeah. Okay. Now I wanted to talk to you guys about the Kansas case. I can't remember. Oh, the last time we were here, you guys, we saw that they all went to court, and the 4 suspects that were charged in the death of Jillian Kelly and Veronica Butler. It was 4 suspects, and it was who I had in my mind the whole time, you guys. Veronica was going through a very contentious custody battle since 2019, and it seemed like it wasn't even really wasn't even between her and her child's father. Well, it was, but basically the big problem was the grandmother. And it happened to be her boyfriend, and another couple that were their friends that got arrested for their murders. Let's see here. It was Tad Cullum, who's 43, the grandmother, Tiffany Adams, 54, Cole Twombly, 50, and Cora Twombly, 44. And they were charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of kidnapping and 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. So what we were here last time. We saw them go in and out of court and learned that none of them had any consciences, basically. Cora was the only one who showed a little bit of emotion, and they said when her charges were being read to her, she kept shaking her head no after each one, but the other ones really didn't show any kind of emotion. Veronica's father was in there, and after each, you know, after they came in, he called them all kinds of bad words, and I don't blame him one little bit. Um, oh, wow, Charlie Ann. Charlie Ann says, I lived in a small town when I was young. My hubs called it Mayberry. They say there's 500 people there. I think they're counting all the animals, too. Yeah. Well, ours is a little bit bigger than that, Charlie, and I will have to say that. But you know, those towns, did live in a big town, you guys. I'm from Kentucky, right? So I did live in Louisville by myself. And all of you know that I'm paraplegic, but Charlie Ann, since she's new, she might not know. I was in an accident many, many years ago on my way to work and hit some black ice. So it left me paraplegic. But I'm very thankful to be as independent as I am. And so I did move to Louisville for a while by myself. I got to plug my computer in if you guys hear me fumbling around. But so I lived by myself in Louisville, and that was a huge city to me. When you come from the holler to Louisville, that's like culture shock, really. But so I have lived in a big city, and they people would let the doors slam on me and not ask if I need help. And you guys here in the holler, every time I get out, I don't even have to ask for help. Everybody always asks me if I need help. And that's the difference. I always say holler people, they have hearts of gold. And you don't have to come from the holler to be holler people, basically. If you got a heart of gold and you'll help anybody, that's holler people, in my opinion. Oh, yep. Okay, so what I wanted to tell, we went over the affidavits last time, the affidavits of arrest, I think it was, and they told us just enough info. I think that's what they send to the district attorney to get the judge to sign off for arrest warrants. So that's what we saw last time. But today, you know, we saw them go in and out of court last time when we were here, and they filed something called, I think it's the motion to deny bail. And so that's what, there's a few more details on here that we can learn this time. So I thought that we would go over that. Yeah. Hey, 71, it's good to see you. Jen, I'm definitely no hollaback girl. Definitely not. I always tell my friends when I message or anybody, holla back. Oh. Okay, you guys, let's look at that. And there's a few more details I think that we can learn. Okay. I'm going to have to start going live more, you guys. I've been going live at least once a week, but I need to go live more so that I can get this down faster about sharing screens and stuff like that. Trista, I live less than an hour north of Louisville. Oh, wow. Pray for me, y'all. My eyes are so blurry and seem double, and all my words are running together. It's hard to tell if I'm typing the right words. Well, you absolutely are, Trista, and we understand. And you know, almost all of us are prayer warriors here, and even if we're not, we send good vibes. And that's another thing for Charlie Ann or anybody that's listening. I do post a new prayer request post weekly on my community tab, and you can leave prayer requests there or email them to me or put unspoken, and many people pray over over them there daily. And we also pray for each other in my Discord. Trista posts something every single day in there. Trista, bless your heart, honey. We'll definitely pray, and I'll have my mama to pray too. I ask her daily to pray for us. I tell her specifics, and she prays too. She reads her Bible every morning, and that's when she prays. So I'll definitely tell her, and I'll check on you later. Okay. I'm sorry, Trista. It's about time for your work too. Bless your heart. Don't drive if you're having trouble though. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I'll go ahead and show you guys this. And in the court documents, the grandmother, Tiffany, she did admit to something. I'll share the wording with you guys, and you can decide exactly what she's saying to you in your mind.
Hey guys, we are giving out a ton of these DeWalt samples today. Just fill out our quick 2-minute survey.
At 5, News Channel 10 has obtained court documents that say one of the suspects in the murders of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly admitted to her role in the killings. According to the documents, Tiffany Adams provided a recorded statement to law enforcement indicating her responsibility for the deaths. The document states she is a continuing threat to society and the murders were, quote, complex and involved extensive preparation. A witness told investigators the suspects, quote, knew the path the judge walked to work. Prosecutors say no condition of release would protect the community. The documents state, now faced with the consequence of a sentence of death or life in prison, the defendant and other suspects would be willing to do anything. You can read the full documents on our website.
I do have the documents here, you guys. And another thing was that people were scared because Tad Cullum and Tiffany, they both have thousands of acres of land, you guys. So they have money in the bank and money at their disposal. So that's why people were worried that if they did get a bail set, even if it was a high bail, that they would be able to make it. Okay, Trista, I'm glad that your husband does. Yes, I'll check on you later and you message me anytime. Yeah. Yeah, Debbie, I'm going to read the documents now and you guys can decide if you think that's what she's saying. I think so, but Ashley Banfield says something different in one of her videos that it might be something else. So I'll read them to you guys and we can see here. Let me see here. Gotta go to a different one. Yep. Motion to hold defendant without bail. This is all of the, let's see here. States as follows: all persons shall be bailable by sufficient sureties, except that bail may be denied for capital offenses when the proof of guilt is evident or the presumption thereof is great. Violent offenses, offenses where the maximum sentence may be life imprisonment or life imprisonment without parole. Felony offenses where the person charged with the offense has been convicted of 2 or more felony offenses arising out of different transactions. And this last one is about controlled dangerous substances. Let's see here. It says that this is for Tiffany. This is the one for Tiffany, but they each had one. It says the defendant's actions meet the above categories 1, 2, and 3, and thus under the Oklahoma Constitution, denial of bail is appropriate. So that says about all that. Right here, continuing threat to society. Let me see here. Hey, Merp. Mopping your ceiling. Oh. Let's see here. Hey, Vanessa, it's good to see you. Okay, continuing threat to society. They're definitely a threat to society, all of them. Oh, you guys, I also heard that Tiffany was actually she was the president of the what is it called? The Board of Education, I think, something like that. And she was also on the hospital board, and she held all kinds of offices in this county. So that's why a lot of people were afraid to speak up on her before she was arrested, and because they had a lot of money, and you guys know money talks. Absolutely. Okay, the evidence shows that the defendant and co-conspirators engaged in a plot to kidnap and murder the deceased, Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, in order to prevent the lawful granting of custody and unsupervised visitation by the court. Remember, you guys, Veronica had filed for custody 10 days before she went missing. And then I can't remember the exact day. Oh, I do remember the day because we talked about it. Remember, you guys, when these four were in court, that was actually the day that Veronica's lawyer even said that she was probably going to get custody back of her kids, or at least unsupervised visits. So, yeah. The defendant and co-conspirators attempted said crime previously by both traveling to Hugoton in an attempt to lure Veronica out of her home, and additionally planning to organize her death by throwing an anvil through her windshield while she drove down the road. Yet, remember, even on Tiffany's internet history, they saw where she had actually typed in there how to lure someone out of their home. Oh my goodness. And throwing an anvil. Okay. I know you guys have seen those anvils before. To get it through a windshield, you would have to be able to pick it up first. I haven't. These are a smart bunch, I'll tell you guys. The aggravated circumstance of continuing threat to society can be established through introduction of evidence detailing the defendant's participation in unrelated crimes, as well as the sheer callousness with which a defendant commits a particular murder. So let's see here. So this just talks about there shall be a rebuttable presumption that no condition of release will assure the safety of the community, that the person was arrested for a violation. Let's see here. Proof of guilt is evidence. See attached sworn affidavit detailing the relevant facts at this time. State would point out that after arrest, this defendant, Tiffany Adams, did provide a recorded statement to law enforcement indicating her responsibility for the death of the deceased. This right here is what people are saying that she confessed. And I'll read it again. That's what it sounds like to me too, you guys. Tiffany Adams did provide a recorded statement to law enforcement indicating her responsibility for the death of the deceased. So it doesn't say here what exactly she said. She could have said that we really don't know. She could have said it was self-defense or anything. Music City Mom. I think Dad had custody and Grandma was keeping them. Yep, that was what it was. He had custody, and last November he was arrested for felon with a handgun, and so he was put on probation. And this past February he violated that probation by getting in a DV incident with his now wife, who's pregnant. So he went back to jail for 30 days, and then on the 22nd of March, he was sent to a 6-month rehab. So he was in rehab when all of this occurred. And that's right. Grandma Tiffany was keeping them. Okay, so that right there is what they're saying was a confession, but that's not the only thing that's different, you guys. Let's see. The facts are that in order to prevent Veronica Butler from regaining custody and unsupervised supervision with her children, the defendant and conspirators were willing to commit murder. Said murder was complex and involved extensive preparation. There are statements of the conspirators that their problem would be taken care of because, in addition to removing Veronica, they knew the path the judge walked to work. Let's listen to that again, because they said that Veronica would be taken care of, and they knew the judge walked to work. They knew her path. So that makes a lot of sense, you guys, because we learned last time that the judge had to have security with her all the time after these murders happened. So that makes sense, because they'd even threatened her. Now, faced with the consequence of a sentence of death or life in prison, the defendant and conspirators would be willing to do anything, since they have shown to be willing to commit capital murder in order to limit Veronica's visitation. Wherefore, the state requests that the court hold the defendant without bail as allowed under the Oklahoma Constitution. Nick Noodle says, I'm still not sure why Veronica didn't have custody to begin with. Does anyone know? Well, at first, it was because she kept moving between states and didn't tell Wrangler, her ex, where they were moving and things like that. Guys, I have a 27-page document related to their custody, and I have read through it, and it said that she allowed the kids to go to Wrangler's grandma's house, where one of them got bitten by a dog and got pecked by the turkey. So he does mention that in there. But I think the big thing, you guys, and I wouldn't mention it at first because there's still no, I think that if this was really true, that somebody would be in jail for this. But allegedly, some of Veronica's family committed a really bad crime against the children, is what they're saying. And I don't want to say it. I still don't want to say it here, you guys, but it's kind of something like Sebastian, like, came out about him, you know. So that's why that she lost custody, I think. 71 says, I wonder if the father was involved in the planning. That's a very good question, and I think that the first 30 days in that rehab facility, he's not even allowed to talk to anyone outside, I'm pretty sure. And we know that there was a lot of animosity between Wrangler and Tiffany, his own mother, because we did have that one part where she had threatened to shoot him in the head even. Let me see here if I can find that part for you guys. Oh, guys, also while I was looking through this, let me see if I have this here. Oh, I found this, you guys, in those 27 pages that I was looking through. Look at this. When Wrangler's next witness was the sheriff of Cimarron County, Oklahoma, Michael Borowski, testified Veronica made several allegations of neglect or abuse of the children by Wrangler and made requests for civil standbys during custodial exchanges, but there were never any substantiated claims based on those requests. In fact, matters reached the point where the sheriff informed Veronica his office would no longer supervise the visitation exchanges. I found this, you guys, and I think that this was, I'll have to look again, but I think that this was November of 2022. Maybe. And right here, the sheriff says he would no longer supervise the visitation exchanges. So that's why Veronica and Jillian were by themselves when these exchanges took place. Can you guys believe that? Music City Mom. Yeah, that's the way my mom is too. She's always so busy she can't sit down and read stuff like that. Yeah, Neat Noodle. I never heard any proof of that either. But that's what they say. Yeah. But can you guys believe that I found this, that the sheriff said that? And then I found some, oh, this is where, I think we read that. Yep, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. And now I'll go back to this motion to deny bail. Let me see here. I think most of this is what we read in the first affidavits. We'll just start reading, and I think there is more in here. On Saturday, March 30th, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation with the suspicious disappearance of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly after the vehicle was found abandoned south of Elkhart, Kansas. Butler and Kelly were driving to Oklahoma from Hugoton, Kansas, and then to Eva, Oklahoma. It was about a 45-minute drive, you guys. Nancy Grace got that wrong. It still gets to me. I love Nancy Grace, but she got that wrong. She said Elkhart. They were leaving from Elkhart. And that's a big difference, you guys, because they were still missing at the time she did her podcast. So you need to not get the locations right, because they could have been anywhere between those two places. So that still bothers me, but I will give her a break. It might have been one of her producers that got that wrong. Interviews were conducted related to the disappearance, and it was discovered that Butler was in a problematic custody battle with Tiffany Adams for the custody of Butler's two children. Yeah, and remember, Veronica's children are 6 and 8 years old. And in some of the custody papers, you guys, I read that her daughter's birthday was on April the 6th. So they were supposed to get her on March the 30th. So right around the baby's birthday, you guys. The father of those children was Wrangler Rickman, Adams' son. Butler's visitation with her children was court-ordered to be supervised every Saturday. Adams had a particular person she preferred to supervise those visitations, and that was Cheryl Broom. The court ordered Adams to pay for Broom to supervise those visits. Let's see. I'll skip through this, you guys, and I will leave the link to this. I'll leave it in my description too, so you guys can go back and look at it if you want to. But remember, Adams told Brune that she could take a few weeks off because she was going to ask the kids how Veronica's supervisors were. So she was even going to try to get information out of the kids then. That's what she told Brune. But anyways, Butler told family members she was going to pick up her children from Adams at 1000 hours at Four Corners. Remember, I showed you guys that abandoned gas station? So I keep thinking, since I found that in the paperwork, what if the sheriff hadn't have said that he wouldn't supervise the exchanges anymore? This might have never happened, you guys. Butler planned to bring her daughter to a birthday party, but after they did not arrive, the family began looking for Butler. I couldn't edit these, you guys. I guess I could have downloaded them and redacted, but some of Veronica's family went looking and they found their car and contacted law enforcement. Blood was found on the roadway and edge of the roadway. Butler's glasses were also found near a broken hammer. A pistol magazine was found inside Kelly's purse, but no pistol was found. So that night, you guys remember, the children stayed. Tiffany Adams left them with somebody overnight, Barrett and Lacey Cook. And I have heard that these two were also part of the God's Misfits, you guys. They're a group of sovereign citizens. Yeah. Adams said she called Butler at 900 hours to confirm the meeting, and Butler told Adams something came up and she was not going to make it. But remember, Veronica's phone actually was at the time where it showed where she was in the process of picking up Jillian. So she absolutely was on her way, like we figured. So at 1200 hours or noon, Tiffany picked up the children from the Cook's residence. So between the last ping on Jillian and Veronica's phones was about 9:45. So between that time to noon, all of it was over with, and she was picking up her kids. So that's what this says. And it says neither phone was found at the scene or within the vehicle, and they are currently missing. Adams was the last known person to communicate with Butler and was scheduled to meet Butler and Kelly for visitation at 1000 hours on March 30th. Right here, through the child custody case, recordings were obtained where Rickman discussed death threats by Adams and Adams' boyfriend, Tad Cullum. So right here it says that the custody battle began in February of 2019 with many hearings and court appearances. On March 18th and March 20th, motions were filed requesting extended visitation for Butler. A hearing was scheduled to occur on April 17th, just like I said, you guys. And April 17th were the day that they were in court. And right here it says what I told you guys about Butler's attorney informed OSBI that Butler was likely to receive unsupervised visitation with her children at that hearing. Okay. Let's see here. At times, Adam refused to let Rickman have his own children, even though Rickman had legal custody of them. Law enforcement previously responded to a call for service where Adams refused to give Rickman his children. Reportedly, the officer told Rickman he believed the children were better off in Adams' care. So, right here, you guys, the officers wouldn't even give Wrangler his own children. And then what I showed you guys before, they even refused to do the custody exchanges. So, I don't know if I ever told you guys publicly, but my little brother is a state police detective, right? And he was a trooper before that. So I love law enforcement. I absolutely do. Because of my little brother and because of other, I just do. But things like this makes me really angry, you guys, because it should be better than this. And right here it tells about Wrangler's grandmother. Reported that in mid to late February of this year, Rickman told her they didn't have to worry about the custody battle much longer because Adams had it under control, that Adams knew the path the judge walked to work, and we will take out Veronica at drop-off. Rickman was confirmed to be in a rehab facility at the time of the disappearance. The children remain in the custody of Adams. Rickman denied having told Adams that information. So now he's saying he didn't tell his grandma that. On April 1st, OSBI obtained a search warrant for Adams' cell phone. OSBI agents performed an extraction. Information gained from the device included web searches for taser pain level, gun shops, prepaid cell phones, and how to get someone out of their house, just like we said. Okay. And this tells about how Cora's daughter and Cole's stepdaughter, she's the one that came forward with all this information. And I don't know that any of these arrests would have been possible without her information. She stated that Adams provided burner phones to use so they could communicate without using their personal devices. CW saw 2 burner phones charging on Cora's nightstand. CW is the 16-year-old informant. Right here, it says she described Cora Cole, Adams, Cullum, and Paul Grass. So a lot is being made out of Paul Grass, the 5th person, because they did purchase 5 stun guns. So who was the 5th one for? People think this Paul Grass. And I do have a video, you guys, where the neighbor says that Paul Grass it's his landlord, which is his neighbor. And he told Brian Enton that, yes, Paul Grass was questioned and released. What do you guys think about that? Okay, let's see. This tells about what happened, you guys. I'm going to skip down to the new information. So they were located about 8 miles from where their car was found abandoned. And it was on Jamie Beasley's property. And it says Beasley advised that the dirt work was done with a skid steer by Cullum on March 29th, so the day before, and was possibly finished on March 30th in the morning hours. So even the morning of, Tad was still working on this. It was they dug 10 feet down, you guys. And the way that they found the location of the bodies was through these burner phones. They tracked those. And without that, I don't know that these ladies would have been found 10 feet underground. I I think this tells about all that I told you guys last time. This is the different part down here. Adams and Cullum. So Tiffany and her boyfriend have a history of violent interactions, including death threats and intimidation against individuals who disagree with their ideas. Members of the conspiracy participated in multiple attempts to murder Butler in the states of Oklahoma and Kansas. They abide by their own philosophy and have no regard for the sanctity of human life. I have that quote on my thumbnail. I don't know if you guys noticed it. That sentence was so profound to me. They abide by their own philosophy and have no regard for the sanctity of human life. That says it all right there, in my opinion. Adams, Cullum, Cora, and Cole have resources sufficient to organize and execute a complex murder. Therefore, they also have the resources to flee if given the opportunity. At the time of the arrest, Cullum had a rifle, ammunition, body armor. Okay, why in the world would any normal person, like all this other stuff I can understand, coming from the holler, this is like, the same kind of place, really country, but body armor? Who needs body armor and a go bag prepared at his residence? Adams and Cullum own numerous guns and other weapons. Adams and Cullum pose grave danger to witnesses and community members. No conditions exist which would effectively assure the safety of the community or any person involved in this case, including court officials, should Adams and Cullum be released. So, don't forget, you guys, there was also a judge. He was a municipal judge that was in Kansas. So, but all these towns are pretty close, but he was from Kansas. So he was not involved in the criminal case. He wouldn't be involved with any of that. But he was there while Cullum had all of this stuff in a go bag ready. And I'm still kind of side-eyeing that judge. When he did his interview with Brian Hinton, the mayor did call him and he did have to resign. So I'm glad about that. But I just wanted to read this to you guys to show where it said that Tiffany did take responsibility. Let me find that again so I can read that to you guys if I can find it. It's going to be hard for me to find right now, but it said where she did take responsibility. Oh, right here. Tiffany Adams did provide a recorded statement to law enforcement indicating her responsibility for the death of the deceased. And then the ending part about all that he had when he was arrested. So I wanted to read that to you guys. Any sovereign citizens are preppers that will stockpile weapons. Yeah, that's true. That is really true. That stuff didn't really... I am Skippy. Hey, it's good to see you, buddy. I hope you're having a good day. Yeah. Okay, since I read that to you guys, I wanted to also show you guys where the bodies were found and then a video about the fifth person, that Paul Grice, and then I'll let you guys go. So remember, it was on Jamie Beasley's property where Cullum Tad had said that he was going to do some work. He told him that he was just going to be doing some work out there, digging a big old hole and putting concrete in it, and like, don't worry about it, dude. Yeah, so I'll show you guys that. Which I really don't think that Beasley had anything to do with it, not from what I can tell so far, but who knows about these people really, you guys.
So bear with me, but this is the area where the missing women were found. This is the spot. You remember in the police report, they mentioned a dam. This right here, this buildup of dirt, this is the dam. There's a pond on the other side. And if you walk with me this way, just about 50 feet or so, maybe a little more from the dam, you can see where the earth is disturbed, where the tractors were out here. This is where investigators came. They dug right in this area went down about 10 feet, I'm told. And this is where they discovered the missing mom's bodies. If you look in the distance there, you can see there is a pile of hay back there. I am told by sources that hay was moved over the area where the digging happened, that Tad, the suspect Tad, moved that hay over here to cover up the area where he was digging, hoping that the cows, this is there's a cow farm here, that the cows would come over, this is a ranch, and start feeding on the hay and make the area look less suspicious. But still, investigators were led to this spot.
I wish that Brian Enton would have been able to go there in the daylight so we could see a little bit better. Yeah, but 10 feet down, you guys. And I think they said concrete too. How awful is that? I do have to tell you guys that once Brian was describing it, I don't know if it's in this video or another video, he says cow farm. He said it's a cow farm, but it's a ranch. I thought that was kind of funny.
And again, this is the area right here where they started digging and they found the bodies. Remote area, Ashley, very, very difficult to get to. Again, you go down the dirt road and then you have to walk all the way out there. There's really not much out here at all in any of these areas in western Oklahoma, but cattle land and ranches and windmills, by the way. If you see the blinking red lights behind me, if you're wondering what those are the windmills. At night, they have these blinking red lights on them. I almost thought it was an airport at first. So nothing out here but windmills and cows, Ashley.
So tell me about the adjoining property to.
There is another video too, you guys. I watch all these videos and then I forget which is which. But Ashley says that possibly Tiffany gave the location of the bodies. I don't know where they got this from, but that Tiffany might have given them the wrong location. So if it wasn't for the burner phones, then they may have never found the women. It's really awful that they're passed away, you guys, but it would have been even worse if they would have never been found to have a proper burial.
The property where the graves were dug. The neighbor who lives adjacent actually saw what was going on, saw the police showing up with the backhoes. Tell me a little bit about the neighbor.
Yeah, so the neighbor did spot what was happening. I mean, when, the convoy of state and local law enforcement moved in, obviously shocking to everyone. First of all, the property owner who owns and was leasing the land to Tad Cullum is shocked by all of this, had nothing to do with the murders. Can't believe they found the bodies on his land. His neighbor, though, is also just knows everybody involved, like so many around here, knows all four suspects, knows both victims, knows all of their families, is upset about the rap that their community is getting nationwide because, there's a lot of just good farmers and family people out here. This is what he told me.
I wanted to tell you guys that each of these videos while we're watching, I do drop the link in the chat so you guys can go watch them later for yourselves if you want to. And then I forgot to leave it in the description, but I'll leave it in the description too after this.
Did you know everyone involved?
Yes.
Wow. That puts, a lot of people here are in the same position, but that must just be
I think that this guy is Paul Grice's landlord, you guys, the fifth person. And I'll play that video after this, and then I'll let you guys go.
emotionally.
It is.
It's tough.
It's hard. It's very hard. And, they all come from great families. And their families are still great. They're brothers and sisters and mothers, fathers. They're all people that I've known all my life and think a lot of and still do. We can't let the acts of one reflect badly on everybody. We're not guilty by association.
Was it shocking in particular with these folks having known them?
Well,
The guilt by association.
It's not
He just reminded me of something. Guilt by association. So in the affidavit that we read the first time, it said that it spoke of the vehicles that they drove that day to do this murderous plot. And one of the trucks was owned by Clint Twombly. And I did see it on JLR, but I also looked it up for myself. I looked up Oklahoma sheriff's elections, and Clint Twombly, Cole's brother, is actually running for sheriff in another county, you guys, Cimarron County, I think. And that's actually where some of the defendants were arrested. So his brother, Cole's brother, who they borrowed one of his trucks to do this, is actually running for sheriff. So that reminded me, guilt by association. That reminded me of that.
Place to pass judgment. That's the judicial system's job, not mine. And I'm not here to condemn or support. I'm just here to say that the people in this county are good people.
Yeah.
And we don't want this to reflect differently than what we really are. We're not cults and we're not misfits, and we're just hardworking ranchers and farmers. And odds are, if you've eaten beef or you've eaten pork or you've eaten bread, odds are the people in this area had something to do with providing the products that made those things that we all survive on. And we're not.
I wanted to show you guys this while I thought about it. You guys, I go back and forth between subjects and things, so I'm glad you guys can follow me. But see right here, a blue flatbed pickup owned by Clint Twombly. Yep. See right here, I was right about that. And he is running for sheriff in Cimarron County. Yeah.
We're not demons. We're just not.
You know, Ashley, I've seen several grown men, ranchers, get tears in their eyes over the last couple of days talking about this situation. Again, just because not only do they know all of the suspects, but they also know the victims. They know the area where the bodies were found. They know the landowner. Everybody knows everybody. And it's just still a very, very emotional time.
I'm sure that they're just all rocked by the notion that they may be painted with the same brush, which is just horrible to think of. Speaking of those who are out there and everyone knowing everyone, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and
Are you guys still with me? Okay. I am going to play that last video for you guys about the fifth person. Oh, you guys, before I forget to, I should have mentioned it at the beginning, but I had that on my mind about the Amber Alert case is having some medical problems today, you guys. So please remember her in your prayers and Trista. Please, you guys.
that mystery fifth man, Paul Grice. He is listed all throughout the affidavits by the teenage daughter of the Twombleys who were arrested and charged with the murder. She says that Paul Grice was present for the planning. Paul Grice was allegedly there for the killings. But Paul Grice is nowhere to be seen and hasn't been arrested. Did that neighbor know him or know anything about him?
He does. He knows him, and he knows him well. He is actually Paul Grice's landlord. He's his landlord, Ashley, and he was his employer at one time. So he knows him well. We heard from several sources, and this is new, that Paul Grice was called in. He was actually put into custody at one point and questioned by the police, and then he was released. Why?
See, you guys, it said right there that Paul Grice was questioned by the police and let go. So I read one time that to be in conspiracy, that he had to take action towards that. So they might just have the words of the 16-year-old CW and not have anything to corroborate that. I'm not for sure. But I hope that anybody that was involved in this in any way at all is prosecuted to the fullest, of course.
Why exactly he was released, we don't know. Apparently, they didn't have the evidence to keep him. And talking to that neighbor again and his landlord, he says that Paul Grice is a nice man, and he thinks that people need to hold off on judgment right now. Listen to what he said about that. Did you know Paul Grice?
Yeah, I know of him, and he has a young family, very nice guy. He's the kind of guy to come up and shake your hand, tell you hi, and anytime I've been around him, he's just been out cleaning and working hard and taking care of cattle, and he seems to be a good guy. My understanding is that he was taken in question, and apparently the OSBI and FBI didn't think it warranted arresting him, so I guess he's not in custody, so I have no reason to believe they had anything to do with it.
Yeah, a lot of people are questioning it just because he's named in the reports and wondering why he's the one who wasn't arrested.
And remember, CW said that he also was involved in the plot back in February when they couldn't lure Veronica out of her house. So supposedly he was involved in that plot, and he also went with them the day all of this happened, according to CW. So I don't know, you guys.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you. I know he's a good man from what I know of him.
And again, we've learned from several sources, and this is new, that Paul Grice was taken into custody and questioned and then released. So apparently whatever the daughter of one of the suspects said about him being involved, they just weren't able to find the evidence of at this point. So he is out. He's in the community right now, and a lot of people are standing by him, Ashley.
Wow. Well, listen, you can be in conversations about something, but in order to be a conspirator, you have to act in furtherance. And maybe that's when
That's where I heard that, you guys. He had to act in furtherance. So maybe he didn't go that far. I don't know.
If the teenager's telling the truth in the affidavits, maybe that's when he said, you know what, I'm out of here. And the reports got back to her differently, but maybe he's got an alibi. Who knows? Quick question about the next actions in this case. When are all four back in court? What do we see next?
Okay, so May 15th, 9 a.m., they're going to be back in court. They are all in the process of getting new lawyers. Tiffany Adams, Tad Cullum, Cole Twombly say they are all going to get private attorneys. Cora Twombly was the only one at the hearing who said she was going to want a public defender, which is kind of interesting considering Cole Twombly is getting a private attorney. But again, let's not forget, some of these folks have a lot of money, especially Tiffany Adams and Tad Cullum. They've got the resources to pretty much get whatever lawyer they want, from what we're told. They own thousands of acres of land. Tad Cullum in particular, Ashley, I'm hearing over and over again, is particularly wealthy. So it's going to be interesting to see what legal teams show up because they didn't have lawyers at the first hearing. And so who's gonna be the lawyer come May 15th? That's going to be really interesting because they've got the money.
Yeah. And
May 15th. So I will keep you guys updated. Yeah, May 15th. So I will keep you guys updated about that. I did find what I wanted to show you guys. So right here it said a blue flatbed pickup owned by Clint Twombly. And so I looked up Oklahoma sheriffs, and here is the list of elections, and you go down by county and it says Cimarron County, and it does say right here Clint Twombly. So he is running for county sheriff under Republican. So I just thought that was interesting. I'm not saying that he was involved in this in any way, but I think if we're going to talk about Paul Grice that was listed in the motion to deny bail, and the other that we also have to speak about him, I will paste that website that I just showed you guys. I'll put it in the chat so you can check it out later too. And I just want to go over the Amber Alert one more time, you guys, before we leave. this is, and I do have it on my community tab also, you can share. Even, and also I do have pinned at the top of this chat, I do have pinned the on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, I do have Romans poster, so you can print that out or share it on your social media. I would really appreciate it. So this is Elias Huizar, 39 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 170 pounds, last seen wearing a black hat, black long sleeve shirt, light blue jeans, and black shoes. And then this is Roman. He's 1 year old, 2 feet tall, 25 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. So do not approach Elias right here. He's considered armed and dangerous. I told you guys about he is suspected in 2 murders that we know of at least, and he's not scared to do further crimes, in my opinion, at all. So I just wanted to get that out to you guys, and thank you all so much for coming today, and keep an eye on my community tab. Hopefully that I can update it and say that the baby is found safe and nobody else has been hurt. So please keep an eye on that. And you guys email me about anything else that you would like to do. I think that we need to do a Good Endings live soon. I know that in this genre, there's always so many bad endings, and that's what we usually expect. But we have to keep in mind that it doesn't always end that way. And I think that those lives help us. So you guys email me anything that you would like to see included in that. Or Jennifer just dropped my email if you want to come to my Discord too. It really is an amazing, uplifting community, you guys, and I love each of you for that. 071, thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you guys, and thank all of you that helped me mod. I appreciate you guys so very much. And I hope that you guys have a great week ahead, and we'll meet back here soon, okay? I love you guys. Bye-bye.